Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. This is the GOAT Movie Podcast. My name is Angel.
I am Julius.
We love talking about movies. This is a show where we love talking about movies, television, comics, pop culture, and anything that we're passionate about talking about. On this episode, we're going to be discussing the official trailer to Matt Reeves' The Batman with a very special guest, AJ. I just want to say something about AJ right here. AJ is a wonderful person. It is truly an honor to be talking about The Batman with him. He is somebody that is passionate, somebody that has great wisdom on all forms of storytelling, whether it be anime, video games, movies, comics, you name it. So, AJ, it really is a pleasure to have you on here, man. It is such a privilege. I cannot wait to dissect this trailer and just talk about why I think it's one of the greatest trailers of all time. Honestly, man. AJ is also a contributor to Geek Vibes Nation, Movies Matrix, and Geekly Goods. Wonderful work that those sites do. Check out his work, man. AJ, how are you feeling? And what do you think about the Batman trailer?
I'm so happy y'all invited me to join in. I'm so excited. This is like my 500th time talking about the Batman on every single one's podcast, Geeks Vibes Nation, Geekly Goods, Movie Matrix, just everywhere. So I'm super excited for this trailer, which I've watched like, 17 million views. Yeah. That was all from me.
You lost count.
I'm ready.
and we're still going to continue to rewatch it. We have been eating, sleeping, breathing this trailer. It really is a phenomenon in the pantheon of all iterations of
I don't know
Batman.
why they released any other trailers that day, honestly.
I completely forgot about the other trailers.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. That was unfair.
Yeah, it really was the cherry on top. But AJ, I want to know, what was your experience with DC fandom? What did you think about it overall? Where were you, and when did you watch the Batman trailer? What was your initial reaction to it?
Yeah, so overall with the DC fandom stuff, there were some things that I really got excited for, but there were other things that I was a little bit disappointed in. Just to get the negatives out the way, I'm probably one of the few people that didn't really care for the Black Adam panel, and also the what was the other panel? I think it was Shazam that I didn't really care for. We did get a badass not trailer, but title for Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I also did. That is it's so amazing. I love that. We also got the things that I did like was the Harley Quinn panel. Not a lot of people are really talking about that, but I thought that was a really good addition to it.
For the television show?
Yes, the animated show, yeah. Also, what else? Ooh.
The Wonder Woman 1984 trailer.
Wonder Woman 1984. I'm the only few that actually did really like the Cheetah reveal. The overall trailer I thought was really cool. I love the action in it. And I just want this movie as soon as possible. As you can see, Wonder Woman right here.
Yeah, there she is.
Look at that. Those are awesome posters, my friend.
I'm ready to go. So, what was the Suicide Squad stuff? I really did like the behind the scenes on that. Just seeing everybody interact on the behind the scenes, I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
We did get a little bit of footage with Weasel and Harley Quinn.
That's right.
Which I thought was really, really badass.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for this.
What is it with James Gunn making his brother all these rodents? That picture of Weasel is absolutely hysterical. Seriously,
I love it.
I think that's what I look like when I watched the Batman trailer. I looked like Weasel because it was absolutely phenomenal. Talk about your thoughts on the Batman trailer. Was it everything you hoped for? Did it surpass your expectations? Is it everything you want in a Batman film?
Okay, let me go back. Once this was announced, when we got the announcement that Matt Reeves was doing the Batman, I was probably the one. No, actually, it was Robert Pattinson cast as the Batman. Yeah. I was probably the only one of the few people that actually really loved the casting, because most of us didn't really associate Robert Pattinson with just God, what is that movie called? Twilight. There we go.
Right. Like
Um,
people were stuck on.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
that's a movie that we don't talk about. It
anymore.
doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But
Yeah.
most of us knew that Robert Pattinson was a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah.
And just for Matt Reeves, who also is a fantastic director, to choose him, I thought was fantastic. And overall the trailer I thought was badass, but we'll talk more in that later on.
Hell
Yeah.
Ju-
Well, it's funny with the whole the backlash of Robert Pattinson whenever this happens, whenever they cast like a Batman or a villain for Batman or something, there's the backlash. But like no one ever learns from it from way back with like Keaton when there was like Mr. Mom's going to be Batman, but then look what happened. He's coming back now and people are excited for that.
Hell yeah.
You know, people need to get over the hangups because we all know he's a great actor, you know, and whoever they get for these other roles, like whenever they eventually cast his Joker or his, I don't know, his Mr. Freeze or something,
Mhm.
if they could get Danny DeVito to play Mr. Freeze, and if it's Matt Reeves doing it, I'll have faith
Yeah.
more so than Tim Burton using Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Because look
Definitely.
what he's doing with the Penguin.
Dude, totally.
And the Riddler. And
Right.
the one thing that I really did not like about the Riddler in the past was that he was too comedical. I just didn't really care for that, and many
Ace
people do it.
Ventura ass.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
many people associate the Riddler as being this over-the-top comedic character, and he is probably one of, even for me at least, he is probably one of the most what's the word?
Probably
I would
effective
say-
villain.
Yeah, effective villain for Batman's rogues, because Enigma is character is more, he's as smart as Batman, probably actually even more
Yeah.
smarter than Batman. So just to see those two go head to head on a more, what's the word?
Grounded, I'd say.
Yeah.
Not grounded, but
They're
I
on the
can't-
ground.
yeah, but that's not the word I was looking. I can't remember. I'll think about the word, but right now I think as Riddler being the main character, the antagonist for Batman, I think it was really smart. So
Yeah.
that's what I think for the Riddler right now.
Julius, what did you think about the initial casting of Robert Pattinson, and what did you think about the trailer overall?
I dug it. You know, I dug back when I heard Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman. I mean, I thought about his independent work more so than Twilight. You know, I heard about the movies that I was recommended more so than the movies I saw with him. You know, like I kept on hearing about Good Time and how he's incredible in that. And eventually seeing it, I was like, yeah, this dude can achieve a lot of different roles in a way that I think is reminiscent to like Leo or Robert De Niro. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I think he's
yes.
on that level of actor. And I think this trailer proves that even further, because him being this type of Batman, being Bruce Wayne and Batman separately, he's completely different already. You know, there's a completely different vibe when you see him as Bruce and as Batman.
Absolutely.
I saw Batman in that trailer, and I think already he has the best Batman voice.
This guy's
Like-
crazy.
Dude, I love that part.
Yeah.
Someone finally said it. This guy's nuts.
This guy's crazy. And you know, that's what I've been wanting to hear. Like, ever since we saw Joker
Mhm.
with Joaquin Phoenix, I was like, man, we think Joaquin's crazy. Wait till they see Batman come into this town. Now, I know they're not connected, but I've always wanted to hear people reference or fear Batman and think of him as like this crazy maniac who's just
nuts.
beating
That's why-
down crime.
That's why is one of the things that resonate with me is it kind of feels like the Dark Knight
Yes.
Returns animated
Yes.
movie.
Absolutely.
Where we get the psychological aspect of Batman and why he and his rogues galleries are basically the same when it comes to just being crazy and
Yeah.
deranged and just overall they're all maniacs basically.
Freaks.
So, yes, basically.
Freaks
So
of Gotham.
that's why I really love Matt Reeves really did like dive deep into the mythology, and I really love that he took his time with the script. It took him over what he was supposed to have this done a while back, but
Yeah.
he said I need more time to do this, and I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
I actually was happy that he said I want to take more time. Many people were being very, what's the word? Impatient.
Yes, they
And
were rioting over him not
yes,
finishing the script. But the thing is,
Yeah, but look where we are now.
yeah, we as fans, we want the best. product.
everyone is excited.
Yeah,
Everyone is
exactly.
excited.
We want the best product available, right? And if Matt Reeves says he needs more time to fine tune the script, that's something that we need to trust in him as a filmmaker. Because if you're looking at his filmography, whether we're talking about Cloverfield, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, Let Me In, they're all perfect films. All those films for me, those are tens for me. For me, he hasn't missed as a director. So if he needs more time on that script, give him 2 years. Give him 5 years if you
Give
want.
him a decade. I don't care. I can wait.
I want
I'll
the
be
best.
there.
I want the best available Batman film ever. And the indicator to me that we were getting that was the initial casting. When we heard those rumors going around, who's going to be Batman? And somebody mentioned Robert Pattinson, and that was, the headlines for like that week. I was like, I have not thought about that, but I freaking love that choice. Robert Pattinson has been delivering outstanding performances, from The Rover to Good Time, which I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. He became
High Life.
Yeah.
High Life was so amazing.
Oh, yes. I own
Mhm.
High Life, and I love to own High Life. He's amazing in that. He's just ridiculous. So the day that I found out, my brother told me, he was like, guess who they just casted as Batman? Robert Pattinson. I literally jumped in my pool because of how ecstatic I was, because I really wanted to see him portray the Batman, because I really think he's going to offer something that's just truly psychological and brooding and filled with rage. And what did we see? What did we see? That's exactly what we got in that trailer. I was dreading DC Fandom that entire day because I was missing it. I was at work. I had to work. The only thing I got to see was Gotham Knights, and Gotham Knights blew me away. I saw that live, and I was like, what game is this? And my brother comes over to the screen. He's like, are those Dick's batons? And they were. And we were we were losing our mind because it was the Bat Family. The video game looked incredible. The co-op, all the player mode graphics, outstanding. So I was dreading the whole day at work. And then when I got home, my brother's like, we got to watch this trailer. I waited for you. They released it. Let's do this. So I was like, all right, let's watch this trailer. I watched it. And, a couple people saw my trailer reaction. And, that's just literally how I felt.
Mhm.
And I'm just really happy that Matt Reeves was able to see just the great work that he was able to pull off, because I loved that trailer. It literally was one of the best trailers.
And it's he only shot 25 to 30% of the movie.
How?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
It-
How? Like 25%.
God.
They've only been shooting for 7 weeks. How did
Mhm.
you put a trailer that good together? I mean, when people have their movie fully complete, they can't even put a trailer out like that. The fact that they were able to do that, that is precision. That is exactly what we need for the Batman. I am still blown away to this day. I watch that trailer every single day. Me and Julius have
Same.
done edits with that trailer several different times, whether it be trailer reactions or editing it in a different style, like a David Fincher type of film. I cannot stop talking about this trailer. I'm so excited for this movie. It's going to be amazing, I think, man. Seriously, I watched it, and it was everything that I wanted as a Batman fan. It felt new. It felt refreshing. It felt unique, while also paying respect to every single iteration that we've seen before. Absolutely psychotic of a trailer. I'm not even playing around. But first thing I want to ask you regarding the trailer, what did you think of the bat suit? Because for me, when the bat suit was revealed the first time in that trailer, that's when I knew, holy crap, they got this right. What did you think of Robert Pattinson in the bat suit?
Well, first, shout out to what's his name? Glenn Dillion, I think it's his name. The one that actually designed the Batsuit.
Oh yes,
It's-
costume designer.
It's oh god, I love it so much. And it's not even like the full design of
Yeah,
the Bat-
what?
He's gonna get other Batsuits too.
How's the prototype so lit?
One of the things that I really loved when we saw the suit before the what we got in the trailer, a
Yes.
lot of people didn't really care for it because it just didn't look good in film. But one of my arguments was that you shouldn't have any negative thoughts on the Batsuit without actually seeing it in film or in a trailer,
Right.
where you can actually see the context of the Batsuit. And just to see the look of the Batsuit, that's Batman. There's no doubt in my mind that
Yes.
is
That's
Batman.
That is
Mhm.
the Batman. That is the Batman. That's a
Yeah.
really great point that you made. I love that you made that point. A lot of fans, general audiences, they have the tendency to judge something before they actually see the work in itself. Something behind the scenes can look completely different from something in the film, through the vision of the artist. A really great example I can think back to is the behind the scene photos of Age of Ultron. When we saw Ultron, we were like, what? He's gonna look like that, and it looked pretty horrendous. But when you see it in actual motion, with the rendering that they do, he looked way better than he did in the behind the scenes photos. Julius, what did you
Yeah.
think about the initial reveal of the Batman suit in that trailer?
Yeah, I mean, well, with Ultron, like he was in a leotard, and people actually thought he was gonna look like that. Some guy in spandex and some cardboard on top of him, sprayed metallically. That's what we were expecting. But with Batman, that suit, I mean, seeing it in action was the cherry on top, because I was already sold when he's just walking in frame. They're teasing it from the behind, the boots, and then you see him walking up. I was down like that already. And then you see him fighting Catwoman, and then you see him ragdolling that one guy, that poor schmuck who all that
Poor
dude
guy.
asked. Yeah, all he did was ask a question, and he's getting like 7 months of physical therapy after that. Like, no, man, that it looks crazy. It reminded me a lot of Daredevil from Netflix.
Mm.
That suit. It looks very similar to that. I wonder, I don't know if the costume designer took notes from it, or if it is even the same guy, or he knows the same people, but it's definitely, I could feel the influence there. I feel like Daredevil was a cool like stepping off point to a Batman movie like this, because
Mhm.
at that point we were getting the Ben Affleck stuff, which love it or hate it, a lot of people were like, that is Batman, that's the Batman right there, look at him, look, see that shit, that's Batman. But now, I mean, I feel like the tune has changed, because this got even more Batman than that shit. And that was bringing things out right of the comics, but with the tone, with the voice. I mean, I can't get over that voice, just the whole setup of Pattinson, especially with Pattinson himself proving a lot of people wrong through in a trailer. He's
Wow.
proving a lot of naysayers wrong. I find it to be incredible. And
Wow.
that suit
Yeah.
is the only, I mean, it could have used a yellow circle, but I'll wait. Like AJ said, there will be more suits,
Yes.
more movies,
Well,
more suits. I hope.
What I also like about it is that they actually took the time to think about how the actors actually feel about the movements of it. It with Christian Bale, it was more frozen in place. Basically, it was more static. With Pattinson stuff, it seems more flexible, more breathable for Robert
Yes.
Pattinson, and I really love that they thought of that as well.
Yeah, that is an awesome point. I love that you mentioned Bale's suit. It is a bit more restricting than this one. I think that's why I thought this costume was absolutely glorious. When we saw it revealed and you see him moving towards Gordon, you can't teach what they established in that trailer. You can't teach somebody how to be Batman. They have to embody it. And Robert Pattinson in that suit completely bodied the role. Seriously, like it was unbelievable. I love how the suit reminded me of, with the cowl, it reminds me of the leather worn by Michael Keaton. With the padded suit, it reminds me of Bale's, and with the heavy artillery militaristic look, it reminds me of Affleck's suit as well. So I love that it has so many flavors and influences from different Batman. The costume designer is phenomenal. The suit was beautiful. I can't wait to see more of it. Honestly, if this is the prototype suit, the fact that I'm okay with only seeing this suit, if they never even have more suits, that's crazy to me. This prototype suit beats most Batman suits that we've ever seen before, which is just absolutely insane. It also had flavors of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Like I just love loved the way it looked, man. It was sleek, it was shiny, and you're right. The way he moved, there was a sense of like fluidity in his movements where I really felt like this is the best realization of the character that we're possibly ever going to see. It really made me think of the movies, of the comics, of the video games, of the animated series, all in one. This really does feel like the Chosen One, just based off of the look, man. Just based off of the presence, the movement. I couldn't be happier about this suit. Seriously.
I really hope this movie does not disappoint.
I know, right? I know.
Oh my goodness. This trailer is so badass. And we were actually talking about this before. Amanda was saying, what if the Batman was good? And I was like, I just put that off. I was like, don't even talk about that right now. let me just have this trailer.
Yeah.
I don't want.
No other trailers have to come out this year. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants 2020 to be done already. And we wanted it anyway because of what's going on. But now double so we can get to that movie.
Yeah.
But
right.
like sooner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a time traveler just to see Batman, the Batman.
Yeah. Whatever with a vaccine, whatever with any, you know, food and all that. Batman. That's what I want to go to the future for.
Yeah, man. It's
It.
really exciting. What did you think about Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne in this? When you saw those shots of him without the cowl, whether it be with the eyeshadow, whether it be looking at the Riddler letters, what kind of vibe did you get from him as Bruce Wayne? Did you buy him in that role? Because it's very important to not only just portray Batman, but also get Bruce Wayne right.
Yeah. With me in that, what was it, the funeral scene?
Yes.
We didn't really get that much. It was basically just a cut of it, and then that was it. So on that note, I understand people's criticism on like the hair. Didn't feel like what Bruce Wayne would the style of hair he would have. But with me, I think Bruce Wayne died in that alley. I think Bruce Wayne is a facade. And we didn't really get that in that trailer yet, so I can't really speak on Bruce Wayne himself. But him in that eyeshadow and the mask just looking over, I thought that was really, really good. It actually, I think it's what would be like a flashback maybe of his first time starting off as Batman maybe. I know he said that he's not focused on his first time in Batman, but having like small flashbacks, I think it would be really, really cool to see him first act as the vigilante, not even being considered as the Batman at the time. I think would be really cool. But the overall look, I really, really did love. But I hope we do see more Bruce Wayne at parties as well, as much as Batman at night. Which I think with some iterations of Bruce Wayne, they didn't really portray him right. But I have a feeling that Matt Reeves will have a perfect balance between Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Beautifully said, man. Julius, what did you think about Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne? Did you get the essence that he was going to give us something maybe unique, fresh, or something that you expect?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be different. I mean, this looks like a much darker and more tortured Batman or Bruce Wayne than we've seen probably ever. I mean, and we just got done with Ben Affleck, who was spending time in, you know, graveyards and, you know, getting mad at Alfred and all that. And yeah, I think that this will be unique in the way that he's much more angsty and he's much more getting used to the social aspect of Bruce Wayne. I feel like he's probably going to be way more used to being Batman than being Bruce Wayne.
As he should. Yeah.
Yes.
In a lot of other ones, we've seen him having that balance. Like Bale, he was buying hotels. Affleck was talking shit to Clark. And I feel like this one, I think it would be cool if he was having trouble keeping his Batman side in bed while he's being Bruce Wayne, and maybe some people suspect him or something, you know.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that idea. And we kind of get a glimpse of that when he saves that kid, when the car crashes through the building of where they're at. We get a glimpse of that where he saves the kid. instinctually. And
Yeah.
I love that because for me, Batman and Bruce Wayne, although they are different, they both have the same goal in that they want to rid the evil within Gotham, right? That was the promise that he made to his parents. So for me, when I saw Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, completely bought it. For me, he got the brooding down. He had the anger. He had the guilt. He had the pain, the tragedy within him, fueling him. Um, and you're right. It almost looked like he is having a really hard time containing the Batman within himself. And I love that because that is another aspect of conflict within the character that I believe we haven't really seen in other Batman films. I want to see that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. What were you saying?
That also goes to his inexperience as well. I think while he evolves, the acting ability, not even just from Robert Pattinson, but Bruce Wayne himself, just portraying the billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, or Iron Man type thing.
Yeah.
I think the acting will continuously evolve,
Yes.
so he can act more as Bruce Wayne than Batman when he wants to be Bruce Wayne. I think that will evolve. With this one, I think I love that inexperience that he is not Bruce Wayne anymore. He's just Batman, whether or not he has a cowl on or not. So I
Yeah.
really love that.
Ah, that is so awesome. It gives me chills. And it also hints to us that I believe Reeves is going to give us a well-developed arc. This Bruce Wayne Batman here is lost. But by the end of the film or by the end of the trilogy, we might have that Bruce Wayne Batman that complete each other. They're fulfilled and they're more hopeful in a way when it comes to saving people. That to me is the beauty of Batman. And I feel like Matt Reeves really understands that. And I get that from the glimpses that we see from Robert Pattinson. Looks amazing, man. And the eyeshadow, as I mentioned in my trailer reaction, he looks like a tortured soul. For the first time, we are seeing that eyeshadow on a Batman actor as Bruce Wayne. And for me, that makes a whole hell of a lot of a difference, man. Like it really did. It really feels like he is troubled and he is struggling to not become the monsters that he's facing. That to me speaks volumes just with the idea of eyeshadow. It's really amazing what Matt Reeves was able to do to accomplish with that close-up at the end of that trailer. Robert Pattinson is a rock star, and I can't wait to see more, man. Seriously.
Also, shout out to Greg Fraser, the cinematographer.
Oh, yes.
As the Batman. You can tell like the distorted look of each some of the scenes where you see him in the eyeshadow and the mask, and I think it was the last frame where you just see him just looking at his computer. I feel like you could just tell just because of the cinematography, you can just tell that Batman is alone and just fearful of himself and anyone. So I really, really love that.
I'm so happy you brought up Greg Fraser. He is another storyteller that's part of this new telling of Batman. His cinematography work is impeccable. Absolutely impeccable. If you check out Lion, which was my favorite film of 2016,
So
the way he shoots that film is so damn beautiful and so damn moving that I know exactly what you mean when you say he is capturing Bruce Wayne Batman in the frame, feeling isolated and alone. And that's exactly what we see with the Batcave. I love the new look of this Batcave. It's like an open floor plan in an abandoned like floor somewhere. Some people are theorizing maybe it's a metro station or something like that. But
Bat train.
Yeah, the Bat train. Even when we know Alfred is in his life, when we see those frames of him in the Batcave, we really see that little boy who lost his parents. He's completely alone. He's lost, and he's dangerous. He's unhinged when he's out there at night. So really love the work of Greg Fraser. Rogue One, one of the best looking Star Wars films. Seriously, I know every Star Wars film they look pretty great, but that one for me stands out immensely, especially during the Death Star sequence. Absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
Julius, what did you think about the cinematography itself in this trailer?
I thought it was perfect. I mean, visually, it's what we've all been waiting for. I think this straight up crime film.
Yes.
Influenced by something like Seven or any other David Fincher, even like The Social Network. You know,
Zodiac.
That has Zodiac,
Chinatown.
Chinatown.
all of that. Take them
prisoners.
all. Take them all.
Prisoners,
You know, like that's what I'm saying. I think it looks perfect, and the fact that they haven't even filmed the majority of this production it gets me excited for what else there's gonna be,
Yeah.
because it just look. I can't wait to see how the Riddler actually does look, because he's wrapped up in that crazy costume. When he actually gets full on Riddler, if he has a layer at some point, I'd love to see how that's shot. Whether they'll actually incorporate more green, because they are incorporating a lot of red within their marketing.
Yes.
I'm curious about how color is gonna work with this film, because it does look pretty dark right now. Will that be the case for the rest of the settings, or the rest of the characters? I think it looks really great. And Rogue One, it's probably not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I do like the way that it's shot. I think it looks pretty incredible, and I'm really glad that this is the case for this Batman film, and that in certain ways he kind of held back, because I feel like Rogue One, the way that movie was shot was much more it was definitely more like a Star Wars opera-esque, like things are center frame, they're dramatic and everything. This is pretty subtle, because everything's dimly lit, there's shadows, there's not like this epic shot, something that's trying to be epic. It's just epic because it's great. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Very gritty. I love the use of lighting, especially the lamps in the scene where we see Riddler when he's committing his crime and unraveling the duct tape. I love the use of light over the face where it says
Yeah.
no more lies. That lighting is really effective, and to me it tells me that they really want to tell a story that is very character driven, neo-noir driven, something that just feels like a full-on detective Batman mode. And that's what I really love about the look of Matt Reeves' Batman. Christopher Nolan's Batman was grounded and realistic. So is this one. But the fact that this one feels visually different is awesome. For me, when I think of this trailer, when I think of this version of Batman now, how it differs from Christopher Nolan's, the way I think about it is it's a detective mode, crime mystery thriller, psychological picture. That's how I think of it as. It feels very psychological, especially when we think of the point of view shot of when we see Batman following Gordon and you see the row of cops. That to me tells me that these filmmakers know exactly what they're doing. They are giving us a Batman where we know exactly what's going on in his head and in his heart. Those shots remind me of actually the work that was established in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Those shots where they were point of view and you see Caesar walking through just an aisle of apes. You know exactly how he feels. So that's really exciting to me, man. Seriously. Cinematography visually is a treat. It is insane. And I'm going to become the Joker.
You have to.
AJ, what did you think about Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman in this trailer? We got our first look at what she looked like and what she was doing. What do you think about that reveal?
Yeah, so before Zoe Kravitz was announced to play Catwoman, my Catwoman was Isa Gonzalez. I really hoped that she was going to be Catwoman.
From Baby Driver.
Yes. So from hearing that Zoe Kravitz was going to play Catwoman, I was a little disappointed at first. Like my first reaction was like, why? And then I started thinking about it.
Why?
I started thinking about it. I was like, wait, but Zoe Kravitz is a great actress anyway. So why does it matter anyway to me? So I got excited like not even 10 minutes after I thought about that. I was like, okay, I'm ready for Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. And when we got the trailer, the first look, I was like, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, because it actually makes sense that she doesn't have her full costume yet. I know some people have that criticism.
Yes.
But like Batman, Matt Reeves is evolving each of his rogues galleries. Catwoman is being evolved throughout the trilogy or even series that she might have. Cobblepot is going to be evolved. Not again, I don't think Two-Face is in it yet. But the Penguin, the Riddler is going to be
in this.
Is he going to be in it?
Yeah, there was a lot of reports saying that there was going to be like 6 villains. I believe Firefly
Mad Hatter also.
Yeah, Mad Hatter, Firefly.
Yeah.
We're not sure if maybe Matt Reeves is like saving those for when we watch the film. But so far, the villains that we have seen in this trailer, outstanding. And I love that you said that like he is evolving these characters. These characters aren't what we know them to be yet, but they're getting there. And first he has to establish that that pivotal point, that baseline of when they're going to be on the trajectory to be the villains that we all know them to be.
Yeah.
Julius, what did you think about Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman? Were you underwhelmed? Did you like it? Did it get you more hyped?
I liked it. I mean, I could see why she would be casted, right? You know, like I think she's that type of actress who could be sleeky like that, you know? And I think that it looks cool already, them teasing this cat motif on her. I
Yes.
think that her costume, if she eventually gets one, I'm curious in what direction they'll go, whether they'll go on full on like cat, you know, like kind of how it is in Batman Year One, or whether it'll be more held back once again, you know. But if it's just this, I'm not going to really have a problem with it. A lot of people, I think, want that Arkham Knight look for Catwoman, which I think would be cool.
We might
We might. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And I started thinking about the other Catwomen we've had in the past and the looks they've had and how each one was really distinctive and how this one I feel holds up just because it is much more grounded, you know? Like with Michelle Pfeiffer, that's definitely more Tim Burton. That's way more like stylish and gothic.
Nightmarish. Yeah.
Nightmarish. I actually like the one with Anne Hathaway. I like that version of Catwoman a lot. I know a lot of people go after it. I like it a lot. I think that so far, I feel like that's the best version of the character.
I agree.
You know, and this one, I feel like this will hold up pretty well because, like you guys have said, this is not what they are or how we know them. This is them starting off to where they go, you know, and I am excited for that journey, especially when you think about other Batman villains down the line. Like, will they do this type of treatment for someone like a Mr. Freeze or a whoever else they approach, or a Bane, or, you know, where we see the beginnings and then what they eventually become, or will they just be those people? You know, because I feel like in the Nolan trilogy, a lot of the time with villains, they were already them, with the exception of like Two-Face, who we saw become Two-Face.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliantly.
You know,
brilliantly.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see how these characters become the icons that we're familiar with.
Yeah, I'm loving what both of you are saying now. It's getting me more excited about seeing these characters come to light. Look, for those of you complaining about how she looks right now, just think about how Batman looks. Just think about how Batman looks. They're gonna do Catwoman justice, whether it be a black leather suit or purple. Honestly, even the way that she looks right now, I love. I think it is super creative that they use like a burglar mask, and you see like her face like that. I really like that.
And the little ears, little ears. I love that.
Exactly. What are those, like jewels or something, or maybe like her hair or something? I don't know, but it looked really creative and innovative, and it just feels refreshing. It feels like Matt Reeves is the Batman universe. You know, he's gonna fully develop these characters. I can't wait to see more. I think Zoe Kravitz, she showed us a Catwoman instantly that was strong, somebody that was skilled in espionage and sassy, and you know. That's exactly what I want in a Catwoman. To me, she's got it in just a few moments. That sequence where she is fighting Batman, that to me was already really impressive.
That was awesome, yeah.
And it gave us just a hint of how this Batman moves. And already in my head, I was thinking, holy freaking crap. This Batman is going to show somebody up right now. And what did we get just a few moments later? We did. So I love that. I love the way that Catwoman moves. I love Zoe Kravitz in the role. Every cast member in this film, I think, is perfect, man. Let's talk about the Riddler himself, the actual first character that we saw in this trailer. What did you think about Paul Dano as the Riddler? Does he seem like he's going to be one of the best comic book villains ever?
Jesus Christ.
Did you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead, but I'll be real quick. Paul Dano. Come on, man. Paul Dano. There will be blood. That's as far as it goes. We know this dude is perfectly cast for this character.
Oh, yeah.
Someone commented it's a very similar casting to Heath Ledger as the Joker. I feel like the only difference is that people were actually betting against Ledger back then. And now people are fully on board with Paul Dano because he's
Yep.
perfect. I mean, why would you
Mhm.
be against that casting? That
Yep.
makes complete sense. Watch him in There Will Be Blood. Watch him in that terrible Johnny Depp movie. Watch him, watch him in anything he's in.
Yeah,
Love
Little
and
Miss
Mercy.
Sunshine, Little Miss Sunshine,
Little Miss
Prisoners.
Sunshine.
12 years a slave,
Oh,
prisoners,
ooh.
Okja,
Never wanted a
Looper.
Batman more than 12
Greatness.
Years a
Yes,
Slave.
watch 12 Years a Slave. He's absolutely disgusting in that film.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
disgusting.
Bring that energy to the Riddler, and you're gonna give me a disgusting villain.
Somehow this dude manages to be the most just insidious, spiteful, and hateful character in whatever movie he's in. Even where he's the good guy. Even where he's the good guy, you just can't stand them. And I feel like if they do that with the Riddler, it could be one of the best Batman villains we've ever gotten. I love that there's this Hush motif to him. A lot of people have been
Mhm.
making that parallel because he's got the duct tape around the head and everything. And, they've done a lot of different retconning with Hush over the years. There was the original comic. There was this animated film.
I haven't read Hush yet, so don't spoil it.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I won't
So
say
good.
anything. I won't say anything. It's just, like there's that thing. They're kind of blending characters together the way that Marvel's done at certain points with characters.
Mhm.
And I'm curious. I mean, I really can't wait to see what this dude is like when he becomes full-on Riddler. Whether he's
Absolutely.
wearing green. I mean, he's already wearing green, but I'm talking like jacket.
It's
not easy being
green. I want to hear him say that, bro.
If you want to see a good movie with Paul Dano, I would completely recommend Love and Mercy. He plays Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. He's incredible in it. He looks like Brian Wilson. He sounds a lot like Brian Wilson, and he's fantastic. And oddly enough, him playing that musician will get you more excited for his role as a supervillain. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the quality of acting, but it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it just shows what a dedicated actor he is, and
Mhm.
just how amazing it is to have somebody like that portray a character that we all know and love. Julius, thank you so much for that recommendation.
Yeah.
Great thoughts on that.
Or
AJ,
There Will Be Blood. Just watch it.
what did you think about the Riddler? Did he creep you out? Well, what's going on through your mind seeing the Riddler in this trailer?
Okay. For me, I liked his voice more so than the actual look. If that's the Riddler, it's rumored that he's the Riddler, but we are not totally sure that he is.
It's true.
I'm sold anyway.
But yeah, I think the Riddler will be probably one of the best DC villains. Probably up against Zod. I think they will be probably the best villains for the DC. Paul Dano, we already talked about it. Oh God! Don't talk about Ares. Don't talk about Ares. But yeah, we already talked about Paul Dano's filmography. If you guys haven't seen any of those movies, highly recommend because they are fantastic. And he is fantastic in every single one of them. Specifically 12 Years a Slave because he is – I'm not even going to say it. Just watch 12 Years a Slaves. I can totally – when he was first announced, I was like, yep, he's the Riddler.
Yeah.
I love – sometimes he's awkward, and I love that. Sometimes he can be just a badass and just annoying, and I love that as well. So I'm all up for Paul Dano as the Riddler.
Oh,
Dude,
my God.
totally 100%. I really love that you mentioned 12 Years a Slave. I almost forgot that he was in that film, but the second that you mentioned it, it just brought me back to the horrors of watching that movie. Everybody is brilliant in that. Steve McQueen is such an exceptional director. 12 Years a Slave should have won Chiwetel Ejiofor that Oscar for Best Actor of that year. Blew me away, brought me to tears.
Scared you?
Yeah, a film that everybody should watch.
Yeah.
It is such a wonderful exercise in empathy and also just acknowledging when something is completely out of line and just learning how to care for each other more. I could not love 12 Years a Slave much more. Paul Dano as the Riddler. The second that this trailer opened, I was like, yeah, yep, that's exactly what I expected. That's exactly what I wanted. And Paul Dano is going to surpass all our expectations, even when even when we already thought that he was perfect. The second that we saw come into frame, Gordon pull up the letter and it says, "To the Batman." I was like, chills.
Chills, yes.
Chill, because he is specifically writing to the Batman. This is somebody that he wants to challenge the Batman, because we know Enigma is somebody who believes he is the smartest person in the room, right? And who better to have fun with than the Batman himself? Somebody who is filled with rage, somebody who's going to get pissed off because he can't figure out this riddle. He's all of us, right?
This is why they don't have like the geniuses and the seats of power in this world. You know what I mean? Like, we have all these schmucks running the show. Why don't you get the geniuses? Oh, it's because of this.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking with Batman.
Get the Riddler. But he looked amazing. I love the look. Instantly, he was eerie to me. He was under my skin. He was icky. The way that he reminded me of his performance in Prisoners. His work in Prisoners is remarkable. And I know for a fact that Paul Dano is going to give us a Riddler that is enigmatic and somebody who is just completely complex. And that's what we need for the Riddler. We can't just have somebody who is just somebody that Batman can beat physically. We need somebody who is a mental challenge. And I think the Riddler is perfect to fill the shoes in for what Heath Ledger did as the Joker. Somebody who can up the stakes when it comes to the crimes that he commits, and just how just what a difficult puzzle that these crimes can be. I read for the first time ever The Long Halloween with my brother yesterday. What a comic book. What a comic book. I love the way that comic utilizes a lot of Batman's rogues. And I get that similar feeling here with how Matt Reeves is handling these characters with patience, with precision, and fully developed. I cannot wait for this movie. Riddler looks amazing. I'm completely sold. I even love his lines of dialogue. My brother really made a great point. He said, bro, based off of the trailer, every single line is gold. And I feel like every single piece of dialogue here is not going to be wasted. And I think he's absolutely right. What does the Riddler say in this trailer? He says, if you are justice, please do not lie. What's the price for your blind eye?
That's chills again.
Yeah,
goodness.
Sickening, right? What do you think Riddler's role is in this movie? Do you have any crazy theories as to how he could be associated with Batman? Is he referring to Batman with that line? Is he referring to, the elected officials? Is he referring to Gotham PD? Who do you think he's referring to there? What's his role? What's his goal?
For me, I think he's actually referring to everyone.
I agree. I completely agree. Yeah.
I love that.
The way it's presented, I think it's actually during that one line is presented in, I think it was the announcement the commissioner and Gordon was going at, and I feel like that was the announcement he's going to give, because the cops are corrupted. He knows that. Politics, the political people are corrupted. He knows that. So for me, I think it's towards everyone. And with Batman, where he the Riddler knows that the Batman is going against other criminals, but to me, I think that the Riddler doesn't like that because it's not the way that he wants it. So he chooses to challenge the Batman, which I feel like is incredible.
Hype town.
Yes, and to see those two just go head to head, not even physical wise, but mentally, psychologically, like you were talking about, I feel like is a great way to first introduce the Batman. So I'm all in for this.
I promise you, by the end of the film, if we're going through all these damn riddles and Robert Pattinson's Batman says, riddle me this, at the very end, I'm going to get a tattoo of the Batman. If he says, riddle me this, I'm going to get a tattoo of the Batman. Julius, what do you make of that line? How do you figure Riddler's role into this? Could he be someone considered as a vigilante, a straight up villain, an anti-hero? What would work for you? What wouldn't work for you for the portrayal of the Riddler here?
Well, I think they're going to go in more of the serial killer direction with him, for sure. But I feel like he's the villain of this, but is a piece of a much larger puzzle. If they extend this to like 2 other films or a trilogy or whatever, I feel like this is going to just set up a larger scheme at play in Gotham. I mean, there are a lot of theories that this dude is connected to the Court of Owls in some way or another. And I would be
Whoa.
really
I like
down with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I would be really
Whoa.
down if this was like in the way that we had. I mean, this is going to be, I feel like, way better, but we had Roman, the accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of representing Thanos. I feel like this would be a cool, different version of that when we're leading up to like the Court of Owls.
Okay,
Eventually.
theory real quick. I love that. Also, the hierarchy I think is cool. So what if in the trilogy we get the Riddler as the main villain, then Hush as the other main villain, and then overall the Court of Owls was the one that was controlling both of them. So you'll have the Court of Owls. We'll get like hints and tidbits and like mystery and riddles maybe in the first one that hints at the Court of Owls. And within the next episode, you get more. Not next episode; it's not a series, but next movie, you get more into the Court of Owls a little bit with the mythology of that, and then finally, you get the Court of Owls final movie. I think that would be really, really cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot of the way that the League of Shadows played a big role in the Nolan trilogy.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, except that there's the middle film where, you know, they're not mentioned at all. You know, they just bring it all back together within Rises. But with this, I feel like they have an opportunity to really make it much more of a smooth transition into that larger conspiracy within Gotham. You know, if they're controlling organized crime, if like they're like other crime are basically subsidiaries of them, I think that would be really cool. Like the Penguin doesn't even know he has ties to them, you know, that type of stuff. I feel like that would be really cool. Two-Face doesn't know. They're just all, you know, wrapped up together. I think that would be really interesting.
So I haven't read the Court of Owls storyline. I have the comic that's on my list to read. I was going to read The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Court of Owls, and then Hush. So I know minimal about them. I just know that they're like a cult, organized crime, a lot of wealth, high power, and they're corrupt essentially. So when you guys mentioned this idea of like maybe the Court of Owls coming into play as like the overarching just villain in itself, that to me is very exciting because that perfectly represents what Gotham is. It is a hellscape. It is crime ridden. And I mean, what better way to rid of the evil that kind of that kind of killed his parents? That to me is like, that's cutting the head off the chicken right there with the owls. I want to see that so bad. How would you guys feel if like, if maybe we had the Court of Owls as the antagonist for the second film? Who would you imagine the villain for the third film? Would you still imagine Hush, or would you imagine the freaks coming into play now that the organized crime and secrecy has been taken down?
I think they should wait on Joker, whether it be the third film or something, but I really do feel that they should wait for him, you know, build him up, which they kind of tease in this trailer, you know, with those painted guys. I know that's one of the questions for later. Who do we think they're owned to? But I feel like the Joker should be built up anyway. Like, don't do him in the second film because we saw that with Dark Knight.
Yes.
And you don't want to, I don't want to try to even touch that because Dark Knight is still, I mean, up there, you know?
Yeah.
Just wait up, because we all know, like with this whole trilogy, we're going to be thinking in the back of our minds, with this trailer, we're thinking it, what will the Joker be like, you know? And I feel like he's even more than the Court of Owls. He's the straight up villain, you know, of Batman. So I would be completely down if they say they did bring in Court of Owls in the next film, get that out of the way. I would love it if Court of Owls was in the same film with Joker. If it was in the third film and Joker's just like the complete wild card.
Yes, that would be
messes
dope.
with their shit, you know?
That would be pretty dope. And I mean, there is a great hint to Court of Owls, especially with the Riddler's card. There's an owl on the card. I'm really glad that people highlighted that, because it's either an Easter egg or it's a hint to a greater evil. AJ, who would you like to see as the antagonist for the third film if we do get Court of Owls in the second?
I have no idea. Well, we still haven't gotten Bane yet. We still have, They did talk about Joker a little bit. I think
Mhm.
there was an article about them talking about the Joker being hinted at in the first film and then having a little bit more of an impact in the second film. I'm pretty sure. I had to look that up, but I don't really want the Joker, to be honest. I know he's the best villain for Batman, but to me, I would rather see Bane. And much like the Riddler, he in those movies he was not portrayed as well. So to see Bane and him to like break the bat in the third film, I think will be really really cool. Not only physically, but once again mentally, because if you know Bane as a character, he is smart as much as he is powerful.
Right.
And if we do get the Court of Owls in the second movie, that way we'll see him understand Gotham more than most people. But I think the next best challenge is to see the Batman go against someone who is way stronger than him physically and as smart as him mentally. So I would love to see Bane for the third movie.
Dude, that would be awesome, especially with the way that Matt Reeves is interpreting these characters. I think Bane would be a really exciting choice. I love this idea that Bruce Wayne and it takes Bruce Wayne and Batman to take down these villains. And Court of Owls is a perfect representation of what he's able to do while using his resources full capacity with both of his personas. Honestly, for me, if Matt Reeves does not use the Joker, if he does not give us a Joker for Robert Pattinson's Batman, I truly feel like that would be a missed opportunity just because I do believe he is Batman's greatest enemy. And with the way that we're looking at this Batman already, he's shaping up to be the best Batman. I can't imagine never seeing a Joker for this perfect Batman. To me, I'd always be thinking, what if? I really love the idea of Lakeith Stanfield being the Joker. I know he's very passionate about playing the Joker. I think that'd be really interesting. So those kind of choices for me, they exhilarate me. And that's something that I want to see new with a different interpretation of the Joker. With Michael Keaton's, we got Joker in the first movie. With Christian Bale's, we got Joker in the second film. I think it would just be poetry in full circle if we see a Joker for the third film to round it up as this epic conclusion of Batman after taking down organized crime, after taking down these lower level freaks, to take down the ultimate representation of evil. That would be the triumph of Gotham, of him taking care of the Joker and saving as many people as he can. That to me is just, I envision that as the trilogy arc for this Batman, and it makes me so damn happy. But whatever route they decide to go with, whatever rogues that they decide to go with, I completely trust in Matt Reeves. I believe in Matt Reeves wholeheartedly.
Honestly, for the third film, I would want to see all of them. You know, like if they did Court of Owls in the second film and Batman took them down, and then there's no one to run crime, and Joker's the one running shit, and you see all these villains under his, under his chaos.
Whoa.
That would be, I feel that would be sick.
Whoa.
I would love to see like an Arkham Asylum type horror movie.
Yes.
For, third movie.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. That's it. That's it.
We didn't even talk about Scarecrow. I think if we do, actually, I'm gonna change my answer from Bane to actual Scarecrow, because like the Joker, I think no one has like defeated the Batman in a more psychological way than the Joker and Scarecrow. So to see that in the third movie, I'm all up for it. Honestly, I just don't want it. I want more than a trilogy. Give me a anthology or whatever you call it.
Dude, a
give me a Star Wars.
Fast and Furious, there we go. Shit. Let's go.
Give us
Star Wars this shit. Yes.
And that's how good this trailer was too. That's how good this trailer was too. The moment it ended, I was like, yeah, sign me up for a trilogy. I want a trilogy immediately. I love the tone. I love the lighting.
This can honestly be a universe on itself.
Yes.
To be honest, yes.
And that's exactly what it's shaping up to be. Me and Julius talked about the Gotham PD series that they're going to do, which takes place in year one of Batman. To me, already Matt Reeves is thinking large picture, big picture with the Bat family and just all aspects, elements of Gotham. That to me was really one of the highlights of actually the Long Halloween comic book, is how real they were able to make Gotham. It was a huge crime syndicate. It was a war between two families, the Maronis and the Falcones. Very effective stuff here, and I see that. I see him beautifully embedding this movie, layering it with just all aspects of crime. It is fascinating.
It's the only thing that Jeff Loeb should be proud of when it comes to comics.
You didn't like the sequels? Did you like Dark Victory? I haven't read it yet.
I haven't read Dark Victory either. It's just Jeff Loeb has this tendency to go in really weird ass directions with his comics.
Yeah, you can kind of tell with the end of Long Halloween.
Yeah, but I mean, if you read Ultimates 3, that shit was just that was trash. You know, like don't.
I never read that, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, dude. It opens up with Tony's like Ultron. He released a sex tape of Tony Stark. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, like honestly.
Arrest him.
Yeah, way to like take Mark Miller's great Ultimates run and just edgelord the shit out of it. Great.
Yeah. But back to Riddler for a second. His last lines to Bruce Wayne, he said, "You're a part of this too." And Bruce Wayne says, "How am I a part of this?" And Riddler says, "You'll see." To me, this is a very interesting ending tag for the trailer. It hints to me that Batman Bruce Wayne is a greater piece of the Riddler's puzzle. And when you guys mention the Court of Owls, it makes me think, what if Bruce Wayne's family maybe has some ties with either the Maronis or the Falcones, or maybe even the Court of Owls? What if
I bet that's the case.
What if one of the twists were that Thomas Wayne was maybe a founder of the Court of Owls or something and was collaborating with Talon? How would you guys feel about that? Would that change
I'm down.
your attitude about the film? How does it make you feel about Batman
honestly,
if his parents were crime lords?
With the Court of Owls, they've been there even before Gotham was built. So even before Thomas Wayne, I think his ancestors in itself, I feel like, makes sense if he's connected to every single part of it with the Court of Owls. So that I really hope that happens. Right now, it does seem like it will happen, especially that we got hints of a little bit of Court of Owls in this trailer. So I'm all for that.
I bet you that Bruce Wayne was supposed to be one of the Talons. Like they assigned him to be one of their assassins. But, you know, I don't know, maybe when his parents got shot, that was disrupted or something, you know?
Whoa.
Like, that would be pretty cool if other crime families knew about the Court of Owls, what they were going to do with Wayne, and then they, and Thomas and Martha Wayne, and they just offed them, you know, like they put a hit out because they knew, like, oh shit, something's going to go down. We don't need any more Talons, dude.
Yeah.
These are killers.
Like Joe Chill was a Court of Owl probably, and maybe Bruce Wayne was set up to be Talon or one of the cult members, and they didn't want that for him. They saw the light that was in Bruce Wayne, and they didn't want it for him, and they put a hit on him. That to me sounds so freaking fascinating. If Matt Reeves really does that, or if something similar to that happens, that to me is a huge risk, because I feel that it is reasonable to maybe. I feel like that could put a bad taste in some people's mouths, especially fans of Bruce Wayne, because essentially Bruce is inspired by his parents to do good, right? So if his parents are crime lords, it could be a very like, whoa kind of moment. It could be like a moment in like Iron Man 3 where Ben Kingsley is not the Mandarin. It could have that like knee-jerk reaction from people where it's like, wait, what the hell is going on? But if
I got an answer to that.
Yeah, but if Matt Reeves does that, if Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne are part of the Court of Owls, phenomenal. I actually I love that idea. It is a risk. It is different. It for me, it tells me that he is a bold filmmaker. Thomas Wayne in The Long Halloween, he is a surgeon, and I love the way that they use him there as a surgeon. I love what that means to Bruce Wayne. For this story, if Thomas Wayne is a member of the Court of Owls, for me, that adds to the tragedy of Bruce Wayne and Batman. The fact that he still unconditionally loves his parents, knowing that they were bad people, and yet still decides to do the right thing. That to me speaks to everything that is Batman and represents him in the best possible way. Matt Reeves, if you're listening, and you're already doing that, you're a god. You're a god. But AJ,
okay.
you were saying?
Yeah, I got an answer to that issue though. What if Bruce Wayne's parents or just Thomas Wayne and already knew about the Court of Owls, not really within the Court of Owls, but he knew about him, and he knew about the corruption of the Court of Owls and how deep they go. And so he decides to search for clues and all of that, because I don't really want to spoil it for you, but in Court of Owls, it is shown that Thomas Wayne did like dive deep, and he had issues with the Court of Owls before.
Right.
So I think it makes sense that one of the Court of Owls actually kills Thomas Wayne and Martha. I think that would be really a cool way to motivate Batman. He wouldn't know until like the second movie or even this movie and at the end. And that will reignite his anger even more. I think will be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think it's cool. I would think it would be cool to either see him a part of the Court of Owls or just going against the Court of Owls with Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
I think that's
honestly.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, honestly, I want them to go full on. This dude was a bad fucking guy. I want them to go that because A, it's different.
Yeah.
And B, I mean, it also gets us further away from the whole Martha's Pearl situation of where we are so familiar with the Batman origin. We've seen them get shot over and over and over again. Now this gives us and also Bruce Wayne a reason to get further away from that origin. You know, him fighting crime not for his parents' memory, but because it's genuinely the right thing to do. It finally lets him evolve in a way that we've never seen. And I that's why I want them to make it that his parents were villains. They were bad. They were Illuminati shit, you know? I want them to go in that direction because it gives us a completely new Batman and a completely new arc. And I feel like once he gets further away from his own origin, that's when he can let more people within his life. People like Robin and Alfred and Batgirl and all these different characters that we've been really desperately waiting for. You know, we've been waiting. I mean, what? Chris O'Donnell, Alicia Silverstone? No. Get the hell out of here with that. No, I want legitimate.
Put them in the Court of Owls.
Yeah. Put them on the street with all the other bums in Gotham. You know what I mean? Like, I want it different. And by the way, last year we saw Thomas Wayne in Joker, complete asshole.
Yep.
Hey Wayne, you get what you fucking deserve. You know what I mean? Like,
and it was compelling. It was
compelling, and it made sense. It made sense for that context, and I feel like this could make sense in this context. It reminds me a lot of the Telltale Batman game, where we learned that the Waynes themselves were much more shady than we're used to. And I would be really down with that, honestly, if they just went full on. Yeah, your parents were scumbags.
Yeah, y'all are brilliant, man. Seriously, this is epic stuff. I need to see this. You know, the fact that if his parents are heavily involved with them and they are crime lords, it gives me Eyes Wide Shut vibes from Stanley Kubrick. And that to me is something that'd be very interesting to see in a Batman type film, especially as the next chapter, surpassing the Riddler. That to me is really, really cool. And I just love this entire idea of Batman undoing the wrongs of his parents. That to me would be the true embodiment of justice. What is justice? Justice is something that can get us to a place that maybe sometimes the law doesn't. You know, that's why there's a difference between cops and Batman and what he does. For me, for him to commit acts of righteousness, that is very exciting, especially so that his parents don't die in vain, despite how bad they are. And it also indicates to us that how Batman feels towards his villains. For me, a definitive Batman is somebody who empathizes for his villains, right? That's why we have such great moments in The Long Halloween where he has Thanksgiving with Solomon Grundy. That to me was a very special moment in The Long Halloween that made me look at Batman differently and made me think of him as not so much as a tragic hero, but a tragic hero who overcomes the insurmountable amount of pain to become a heroic figure, to become the Dark Knight. Give that to me. I need to see that. That's so freaking exciting. Y'all are awesome, man. Seriously. Let's move on to Andy Serkis as Alfred. We didn't see him, but we heard pieces of dialogue from him, which I thought were perfect. This is what he says to Bruce Wayne in the trailer. He says, "You're becoming quite a celebrity." why is he writing to you? In those moments, how do you feel about his Alfred, his connection with Bruce Wayne? What's the significance of their relationship? What do you think about Andy Serkis as Alfred, AJ?
Oof. First off, Andy Serkis as Alfred, out of the box casting right there. I did not see that that coming from a mile away. Oh God, that was really a good casting.
Such good
Um,
casting.
Everyone thought he was going to play the Penguin when he was cast.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for me, the reason why I'd like this Alfred, just based on that dialogue, is that I think he's gonna be a little bit different than most of the Alfreds that we've gotten from the Dark Knight and all the other iterations of Batman. I think he's going to have more of an influence, more of a bigger role in this movie as well. To see that, and I love sometimes I just think how sarcastic this line is, because you're a celebrity now. I just love that. It just seems like an Alfred thing to say.
So damn charming. Yeah.
You're a celebrity now, but you still ain't shit.
What fans do you have? Jeez.
I really love that. So
You Stan. You're Stan.
Yeah, this is Stan. This trailer was Stan, the music video. Really well said, AJ. Julius, what do you think about Andy Serkis as Alfred? What do you think his role is going to be in here? Do you think the relationship here? Do you think Matt Reeves is going to dive more into the just the dynamic between the two? What do you think?
Well, I hope that Alfred is definitely involved in a way that we're not used to, more of that father figure that would be a cool parallel if what we're saying about Thomas Wayne is right. I mean, Andy Serkis knowing that Thomas Wayne was kind of full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why he could be extra hard. I want him to have taught Bruce how to fight and be the kind of what Batman becomes. You know what I mean? Because Alfred was special forces in the British Army, British intelligence in the comics. He's a really smart badass within Batman history. I mean, like, I've read some comics where these were like the Injustice comics where he was like beating the crap out of Superman, and that's the type of Alfred I've been waiting for.
Our enemy.
Yeah, until he's mine. Yeah. And I want that type of Alfred who's just straight up Batman Earth One-ish. If anyone's read Batman Earth One by Jeff Johns, and I think Gary Frank did the art on that. It's kind of similar to what's going on in this trailer, where it's like the beginnings of Batman, and Alfred is the guy who's much more harder edge. He's willing to kill. He taught Batman how to fight and all this stuff. He says, dude, you gotta carry a gun with you. I hope that Alfred kind of is that, because with Alfred in like The Dark Knight, who I think is the best version of Alfred so far.
Oh, without a doubt.
He is the spiritual balance of Batman. I want this to be the more militant balance to this version of Batman, because we saw the way he was handling that guy, right?
Kind
he
of
had
like
to learn
Stick
that
in
from
Daredevil.
somewhere. Yeah, he had to learn that from somewhere, and I don't think it's going to be from ninjas. I want it to be from Alfred.
That would be really cool. That'd be really different. The fact that we don't see him at all,
not calling him a sir or anything,
Yeah, the fact that we don't see him, and the fact that I was able to feel just that warmth to his Alfred, I think was really impressive. I love how close they are. I love the charm to him. I love the humor to him. And I love the level of concern he has for Bruce Wayne in his life. Why is he writing to you? Like, he's actually, he's a butler, right? But he doesn't have to be as concerned as he is, yet he is. And I really love that about Andy Serkis. He is a gem of an actor. He is a gem of an actor. I love more of the recognition that he's been getting lately. I mean, he's phenomenal. He is phenomenal in any project that he is. And I'm really
Caesar. He should have gotten an Oscar for playing Caesar. Honestly.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, War for the Planet of the Apes, when he first said no in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, it's those moments that I live for when I'm watching.
Leave him.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh man.
Insane.
So crazy. It's all in his eyes. So I know for a fact he's going to give us an Alfred that is very deeply compelling. And I did definitely get that vibe of the father figure in this trailer. Somebody who watches over Bruce Wayne. Although we see Bruce Wayne alone, I still feel that Alfred is watching over him because he took care of him as a kid and was there for him when his parents were slaughtered. Amazing. I love what they're doing. Another perfect addition to the cast. AJ, what it is precious. AJ, what did you think about Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon? I know initially when the casting happened, there was so much backlash for him, which was so ridiculous. I mean, get out of here, everybody who had a problem with Jim Gordon. I'm sorry, like I don't mean to be rude or anything. Get out of here, please, because I mean, it was really messed up, the backlash that he got for being casted as Jim Gordon. He is such a great actor. AJ, what did you think about him? Seeing him in the glasses, seeing him in detective mode, helping out Batman as Jim Gordon.
The mustache.
He is Jim Gordon. Or
Yes.
James Gordon. I think it's James Gordon in this one, right?
Yes, I believe it is James Gordon.
Yeah. He is James Gordon.
I'm gonna call him wrong.
All right. So with the casting, this is a Marvel thing, but with the casting of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury,
Nick Fury, perfect.
that reminded me of this.
Wow.
I freaking love this. I love it. Jeffrey Wright is a fantastic actor. When I watched this, I was like, who's Jeffrey Wright again? All I see is James.
All I see is Gordon.
Yep. Wow.
Bring me
well said.
Barbara right now.
I can't wait. I really hope that Batgirl is connected to this, and we can get a black Batgirl or a mixed black girl. Doesn't matter. I don't care.
100%.
We need it.
Yes.
100%.
Remember they did that in Lego Batman?
Oh my God, yes. Rosario Dawson killed it. Killed it.
Also, that scene where Batman was in the precinct and Jeffrey Wright pushed him into the wall to just let him stop. I was like, okay, I love this.
Goosebumps.
It just
fuck down.
It just shows how in charge he is, and he's not even
why doesn't
commissioner
Bruce
yet.
Wayne pay for everything? What they said.
I want that scene, dude. You know, if we had some money, some benefactors,
Why doesn't Bruce Wayne
benefits,
just fix everything with his money?
they want to defund the police. You hear that?
Yeah, Batman got pissed.
Just putting that out there. He knows that Bruce is Batman. You hear they want to defund us, right?
Well, that's the thing I like about Batman, and the thing I like about Gotham by Gaslight is that Bruce Wayne actually does contribute to Gotham and try to make it a better place, and in that sense. And then at night, he just takes as Batman and just takes over the criminals, and criminals are scared of him. So I really hope that Matt Reeves dives in between him helping out the city as Bruce Wayne and him just taking over control of the criminals while he's Batman.
Yes.
I agree completely. That's
Yes, so
something
well
that
said.
they teased within the Dark Knight trilogy, but they didn't really show it enough. I
Mhm.
feel like with the character of Blake, you know, they set up his backstory as he was an orphan that was benefacted by Bruce Wayne's foundation. We didn't see that. I would have loved to see more of that.
Mhm.
And I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for them to do that type of thing, because so many people get so focused on the only way to handle, you know, the problems within society. It's through violence, it's through revolution and stuff. And I feel like these movies kind of, they're not contribute physically, but like you see Batman, who's the most popular superhero in the world. What's he doing? He's beating ass. That's how he saves the city.
Being ass, kicking names.
Yeah.
Taking names, you know. That show foundations, show charities set up, show Batman picking up trash on the sidewalk, you know. Give
Yes.
us that.
I totally agree with that. I love what both of you are saying in regards to how Bruce Wayne should be able to help as well. One aspect I love about The Dark Knight Rises is actually that ending when he does fund that orphanage for them. To me, what was so great about the scene between him and John Blake was Bruce Wayne at that moment did not see the full picture. He was just focused on ridding of the crime in Gotham.
Yeah.
But he was not fully aware of the full picture that entails completely fixing the economy of Gotham, completely fixing the society of Gotham. So by the end of The Dark Knight Rises, he got it. He had it. He had every aspect. The crime, trust with the Gotham Police Department, and also making sure that the civilians of Gotham had civic rights, you know, to pursuing happier lives. That to me was the beauty of the end of The Dark Knight Rises. Now with Matt Reeves as the Batman, I feel like we're going to get that fully fledged out. I really love seeing Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. I love seeing that he was already a man of honesty, somebody who trusts
Yeah.
Batman, and somebody who will even calm Batman down so that Batman doesn't lose his cool. With
Put hands on the Batman. He put hands on the Batman.
yeah, but I love that Jeffrey Wright is giving us a very level-headed Jim Gordon. And immediately when I saw him in the trailer at the crime scene with the flashlight, looking at everything, look at the lies on the newspaper of like the mayor or Maroney coming out.
Mhm.
I love.
Dawn, I think it was said. It said Dawn.
Yeah, I love already that I was so fully invested in this story because of Jeffrey Wright's performance as Jim Gordon. You're absolutely right, AJ. I did not see Jeffrey Wright from Source Code. I did not see Jeffrey Wright from Westworld. I saw James Gordon.
Or Jeffrey Wright from Shaft.
Yeah. Yeah. I
met
saw
up with Christian
James Gordon.
Bale.
Oh man, dude, that movie's hilarious. But yeah,
John Shaft.
I saw James Gordon, and it's just a really good sign to me that they got the casting down to a T, and that leaves us to our last casting aspect of this trailer, which is Colin Farrell as the Penguin. AJ, I mean,
Wow.
did you even recognize Colin Farrell in the trailer? How did you discover it was him? What do you think about him as the Penguin?
Well, I discovered that he was the Penguin probably when I think it was the makeup artist that actually revealed that it was Colin Farrell.
Yes, it was.
That's when I realized it was him.
Yeah, they're a company based in London. They do special effects and makeup. They're called Pro Renaissance FX.
Mhm.
Check out their work. Check out their Instagram. Their work is phenomenal. I mean, look at the way he looks, man. How would you explain it?
I want this to be nominated for the Oscars for best makeup. It's so good. Granted that we're not in 2021 yet, so there could be something that's better.
Yeah.
But right now,
He's already campaigning.
Yeah, he should. Who knows what year it'll come out? It has questions.
Exactly.
01. Who knows what year it's coming out?
it'll be 30, 21, 20.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think the makeup and just the prosthetics of what is going on right now, I think it looks good. A lot of people also, this is just a lot of backlash with the casting of this movie. People are like, "Oh, he's too pretty to be the Penguin," and one of my
Pretty
arguments,
nasty in that shot.
yeah, and one of my arguments before this came out is like, you guys have to realize that makeup artists, you have just prosthetics, everything goes into a movie, so you have to realize. I feel like makeup artists and everyone, costume design, sound, they're all unsung heroes of a movie.
Yes.
So you always have to take into consideration with that. So with me, with casting, all I do is choose the best actor or even new actors that look good or with one movie at least that act good. I will place them as one of those if I think they'll do good. Doesn't matter if they're fat, skinny, male, female, as long as they do a good job acting and the rest of the department, like makeup artists, costume designers, do their job. I have full confidence that the movie will do well. So
That's awesome. I love hearing that. Julius, what did you think about Colin Farrell as the Penguin? Did you recognize him at all? I mean, what does it tell you?
I didn't even know that was him.
What does it tell you about the craft of this movie?
He looked Italian, didn't he? I mean, like he belonged in a Scorsese film.
he really did. He really did.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a picture.
Yeah, I mean, I was down if they were gonna keep Colin Farrell looking the way he did. There were some set photos of him like with white hair and shit and an umbrella. I was like, I'm cool with that. I don't care about that, you know. But then they do this, and it looks great. I mean, no one saw Horrible Bosses where he's like the Penguin.
Yeah, that's how it looked like actually.
Yeah,
The Gentleman was really good too.
Oh, I gotta see
Absolutely.
that on my watch list.
I mean, him as Bullseye, that's one of the only like good things about Daredevil. You know? Yeah, where he's like there was that weird ass tape of him like doing coke, looking at the camera. You know, I'm thinking about all of that. Him in that movie about the making of what's it called? Mary Poppins, right?
Oh yeah, Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks, him as in Horrible Bosses, like I said, all this stuff, Dumbo,
Phone
right?
booth.
Phone booth in Bruges, all this, it went away looking
Yeah.
at that one shot again. You know, holy crap, dude, he's actually the Penguin.
Yeah.
Apparently this is him rising up to that, because right now he's like that gangster, you know, hitman type thing.
Whoa,
When he
this guy's
eventually-
crazy.
Oh, that was him who said that?
That was him. That
Oh
was
wow!
Yeah, it was.
See, didn't recognize him again. There you go.
Yep.
He's a great actor. So I'm very excited. This guy's great. I've
This
been waiting
guy's
for
crazy.
someone to say that, man.
Yeah. Yep.
This guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah, same here, man.
You know,
Same.
I can't wait to see him actually rise up to that point where if he got that cigaretto and he got the top hat and the monocle,
Oh, please.
I'm ready.
We're getting
ready.
that by the end of the movie. We're getting
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
He better make a joke like wait, like some,
Wow.
or maybe that's his
I better-
ringtone or something.
wait. or one of his henchmen's ringtones, and he's like, "Shut that off."
shut that shit off. Will he do an accent? I don't know. Maybe just a regular voice. I'm cool with it either way.
Yeah, totally. I completely missed it in my trailer reaction. Didn't even talk about him in my trailer reaction. But I was actually anticipating seeing him in the trailer, but I didn't, and that's why I didn't talk about it in the reaction. But Colin Farrell absolutely morphed into this role, just with the singular look. Yeah, he was one of the metamorphoses. He was one of the metamorphoses, the covers of those books. That's what happened with him. He changed into the Penguin completely. And AJ, I love
Someone
what you
should do a Photoshop of that.
yeah, as a metamorphosis. I love what you mentioned about just every aspect of filmmakers on the crew as unsung heroes. I completely agree. What I love about this trailer is that everybody got love, whether it be the cinematography, whether it be the directing, whether it be the acting, whether it be the people working with the music and choosing the soundtrack, and even coming down to the choice of costumes or makeup. Everybody got love. And seeing him in the prosthetics just solidifies to me that Matt Reeves is taking every single element of this film at 110%. He is not holding back. He is giving us his all, and so is everybody else on that crew. So I salute every single person working on that film. He looks absolutely unrecognizable as the Penguin. It instantly reminds me of performances like Charlize Theron in Monster when she worked with Patty Jenkins, or in her recent work in Bombshell when she portrayed Megyn Kelly. She looked completely different, and the makeup there was absolutely astonishing. So I can't wait to see more from Colin Farrell. Not just, beyond just his look. I can't wait to see his performance, man. This is shaping up to be one of the best casts in a Batman film ever. Let's move on to the Batmobile. AJ, what did you think of the Batmobile, and how would you rank it amongst like glorious Batmobiles that we've seen before? What'd you think?
Well, I can't comment on. Actually, I can't comment on the look of it. I think it's badass. I think that's as simple. I think that's as easy as I can put it. It looks badass. Just to see those 3 shots of it just revving up, I was like, okay, I want it. Just give it to me right now.
I would steal it. That's what I love it. I would take it. Grand Theft Auto.
I'll be Jason Todd in this situation. Just take off the
Take those wheels.
Hit triangle on that Batmobile.
Imagine someone does try to touch it in the movie. Someone actually does try, and they get shocked or something.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love the look of it. Now I just need to see how it actually feels and how it actually moves as a whole. I'm not sure about that. So right now, I'm not going to rate it with the Batmobiles that we got so far in terms of movement. I wasn't a fan of the Dark Knight Batmobile really.
The
but
Tumbler?
yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of that. But the Batman versus Superman, I thought was really, really well done. So hopefully,
We'll have a race, bro. We'll have a race. I'll take the Tumbler. Watch out, he's just gonna shoot me off the wall.
But I also like that it's handmade. Everybody's been talking about how it's handmade, and so that means even Batmobile is going to be evolved. Everything's going to be evolved within this movie till the next 3 movies after this.
Yes.
Oh
So
my God.
it's I just love how everything is going to 0 and then like 5, then 10. I just really love that.
Once he gets that bat wing, that's gonna be nuts. This is
Mhm.
gonna be
Ooh.
commercial airline.
Oh, so fresh,
He
man.
just takes a plane.
Julius, what did you think about the Batmobile itself and how they revealed it? I thought the way they revealed it was pretty damn awesome.
It comes in black. Okay. It comes in black and red. That looks sick. And I've said back when we talked about it before the quarantine, when it was like one of the last things we actually talked about in person was the Batmobile. And I say back then, I say it right now, it's probably going to be one of my favorite Batmobiles of all time. Just the look of it, the way I mean, that shot of it crashing just to chase, I assume it's the Penguin up in this.
Mhm.
He's not giving up, you know, like that car is too much. I can't wait. It's up there for me with what was it, Adam West's car, which I love.
Yes.
This is going to be crazy. And the gadgets, if it has any gadgets, I know they're trying to be more grounded. If it doesn't have any gadgets, that's cool because it's a sleek ride. I need it. You know, I don't know how many miles it gets to the gallon, but it better be like Batman amounts, like the number of Batmans that we can get for gallons of miles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
If that makes sense.
Look, that Batmobile was such a sweet ride. I want one. And I love Mustangs too. I love Mustangs so much. My grandma actually used to have a Mustang, and I love being taken to school in that car every single day. So I have a really soft spot for Mustangs. I hope I own one day and can give her a ride to wherever she wants to go. It's 'cause
Drive like he did in the trailer.
yeah, I would drive her somewhere just like he did in the trailer, and she would say, "You're freaking crazy." I love it, man. I love the blue fumes. That to me tells me that
Mhm.
it looks really intimidating. It looks really cool, and I love that it's handmade too, man. So for me, that really makes my attachment to the car much grander because he put it together. And like you guys said, it's handmade. It feels more personal, and it just feels more effective with this Batmobile. It looks so freaking cool, and I also love that Matt Reeves. He's a fan of old school car movies, like Bullet with Steve McQueen, like Drive itself. So if we get that kind of vibe from the chase sequences with this car, I'm gonna be the happiest Batman fan alive. That to
Yeah.
me, I just feel like with this kind of Batmobile, you can have those kind of really cool action sequences like recently, like in Baby Driver, where they're really, really smooth, really, really cool. It's not just like the Tumbler where it's just like, crashing through everything and it's kind of
Mhm.
like it's very destructive and stuff like that. This is going to give us a different kind of vibe for this Batman. And I think it just perfectly reflects what Matt Reeves is going for ultimately. It's very, very exciting. What did you guys think about the song choice that they used? They used Nirvana's Something in the Way. Here are the lyrics exactly. The lyrics go like this. They say, underneath the bridge, the tarp has sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped have all become my pets. And I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling. But it's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. Something in the way. AJ, what do you make of the use of song choice? Do you think the lyrics relate any way to the persona of Batman, the Riddler? How did the song choice make you feel ultimately with the trailer?
To be honest, I didn't really think much about the lyrics of the song when I was watching this trailer. But hearing you say it, I actually had the feeling that this trailer showed the dominance of Batman, and that's what the song
Yeah.
felt like as well.
Wow.
With the fish, with the fish thing, okay.
Yeah.
Batman will dominate anybody
All the
he
fish.
faces.
Yeah.
He beats
So,
up a
yeah.
fish.
That would be awesome. I want him to beat up a fish now. But yeah,
That sounds very interesting, actually.
mhm.
I love how you're
But
able to relate the song to that.
I just love the lyrics now. I didn't even think about it. Now we'll go back and rewatch the trailer for the 1200th time and
Yeah.
actually think about the lyrics now. So
Yeah, it's a trailer that keeps on giving for sure. I mean, the second when I watched the trailer, I didn't think about the song that way as well. I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics. I was being affected by it visually and emotionally, based off of what I was hearing. So the song itself, I was like, ooh, okay, this is adding to that neo noir tone that's very dark and gritty and psychological. Love it. But when I rewatched it again and I heard the lyrics, it just added another layer on top of this trailer, which I feel like when you have a really good filmmaker, they do that kind of stuff. A really great example is the way that James Gunn uses music for Guardians of the Galaxy. He's not just implementing music because they're great songs, they're nostalgic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Every word to those songs actually add to the meaning of whatever's going on in the scene.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I feel like is the brilliance of the choice of this Nirvana song. Julius, what did those lyrics mean to you? Especially this line here that I find really interesting. And the animals I've trapped have all become my pets. Is this a line that can not just relate to Batman? Do you see this relating to maybe one of his rogues, like the Riddler?
It could very well relate to it. I was thinking about his sidekicks and how there's kind of the dichotomy of you're putting these people into your war, you're costing lives at some
Whoa.
points. And I'm just thinking about Batman in general. We have characters like Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon, all these characters who have gone through a lot of terrible stuff because it was Batman's fight, you know? And the lyrics as a whole got me thinking about the hypocrisy of Batman at times, you know, because like I was thinking about while you were reading them, the debate I had earlier this year with Daniel about Batman, should he kill? And we're talking at some points about whether it's a good thing if he kills or not. You know, why is he the one? Why should he be the one? He's bringing these people into his fight. Why is he telling other people they can vigilante only in this way when his way doesn't work at some points? You know, it got me thinking about a lot about the logistics and the moral ethics of Batman. And I hope that these movies get into that heavily, you know, get into that conversation heavily. And I feel like this one will, because the cops don't trust him at this point. They're looking at him like some guy who shouldn't even be there. And, you know, and I was just reminded of the Sherlock Holmes stories that I've read and, you know, the consulting detective, but this time it's similar. And I actually think that they're basing it a lot on that, you know, on that type of relationship between Sherlock Holmes and Scotland Yard. Yeah. So it got me thinking a lot about that type of stuff. And I am really excited to see where they take it from there.
Dude, wonderful insight. I love that both of you can just like really analyze this to the point where for me, it's making me change the way that I'm looking at the trailer itself. For me, when I hear those lyrics, I can relate it to both Batman and Riddler. I feel like Riddler is going to consider himself as like this apex predator, like Dane DeHaan in Chronicle, right? Where we're just going to get this twisted being who just really considers everybody as an animal inside his cage, right? And he's going to be messing with everybody. And that lyric of like eating the fish, that to me tells me that he has no remorse. He has no empathy. He is just a complete psychopath. And he is just far beyond that line of being able to return. It's a really creepy addition to already what makes this trailer work. And I think it also it just signifies how to construct such a beautifully made trailer, because we know sometimes trailers, they'll take songs and they'll just slow them down and then they'll put them in for like effect and stuff like that. This isn't one of those trailers. This is really a masterclass of making a brilliant trailer. Julius, you mentioned the tension between the cops. I want to hear, what do you guys think is actually going on during that cop scene where we see Batman taking on like 30 cops in that interrogation room? Any ideas?
He wasn't Batman enough for that moment.
Well, for me, I think that this is after the scene where the explosion in that trailer. I think one of the cops tried to take off his mask. And he woke up just in time before that happened, and he got pissed. And then everybody just started swarming him just to relax and everything. But he was not having it. Dude, that's what I think, at least.
That is dope. I love that idea.
That'd be crazy.
That would be really cool. I just love that scene because we haven't really seen that before. Batman taking on like the entire Gotham PD. I love that sense of tension, and I think it's really visually rich as well. There's a certain type of energy that only certain films can capture. I'll give you an example. Heath Ledger and the Joker during that bank robbery scene. The energy, the momentum within that scene, for me, it's rare to find that in a movie. You know, you have a sweet spot when you can visually tell a story like that. Another example recently would be Joaquin Phoenix in Joker during that train scene where he's being chased down by those two detectives. That to me was an electrifying scene. I can relate the same thing here with Batman going against all those cops. I am very interested to see what's going on down there. Julius, what do you think is happening? What's occurring?
I bet that one of those cops is a Riddler informant, you know, and that he found out, and he was like, "Bitch, come here," you know. And yeah, I feel like it's one of those points where Batman's probably going to be shunned by the police for the remainder of the film. Maybe he's being hunted because at the beginning he's definitely in cahoots with them, trying to figure out what's going on. At that point, I think their relationship is basically severed. And it's like Gordon could be saying, "You got to get the hell, you got to run right now," you know, because we're going to have to come after you.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
Maybe in that scene where you see all the cops looking at the Batman while he was walking into the crime scene. Maybe the reason why the Batman is there is not only to help him solve the crime scene, but to evaluate every single cop that's there. To see who's corrupt and who's not. And I think that would be really, really cool.
Wow. Yeah. That almost makes me think back to the scenes in The Dark Knight when Harvey Dent is talking about, like dusk and dawn and stuff like that, and how, it's lighter by the end of the day or something like that. It's a very hopeful speech. But when someone yells out, "No more dead cops," that tension right there reminds me of what's occurring during this scene. What I'm thinking is maybe Batman fails in preventing another crime from the Riddler, and some cops lose their lives. And so during that interrogation scene or wherever they are, whatever the setting is, maybe someone says, "This is your fault, Batman. It should have been you, not good men." That to me, I feel like would be very, very interesting and a very good outlook on how the relationship is between cops and Batman, because there is a clear tension there. Batman only trusts a few men. James Gordon is one of them. As to the other cops, he doesn't really know who to trust, especially when they're attacking him. And that would set off Bruce Wayne. That to me, I think would be emotionally rich.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the recent book, Batman White Knight, I believe, where Batman...
Curse of the White Knight.
Curse of the White Knight, yeah, the one where he's kind of working with the cops, him, Nightwing, Batgirl, working with the cops and everything. It was a really cool idea, not one that we see a lot of, because Batman is so used to being this loner, being the guy who assumed Gotham's crime. It's like, I'm gonna be the one to take care of it all. And I think those stories are really fascinating, where he realizes he has to work with the system to improve it. He can't just be there. He has to actually rise it up physically.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so freaking awesome, man. What movies did you guys think of when watching this trailer? What did it remind you of instantly? There's very popular choices like Seven instantly.
Yeah.
I think that's the main choice right here is Seven. Yes, I did see a little bit of Chinatown. This was actually before I actually watched the Matt Reeves panel itself. I actually thought instantly that it felt like a Chinatown type movie because of how, interactive the mystery essence of the trailer felt to me.
Yes.
I love how interactive it's going to be. At least that's what the trailer feels like. So people will guess alongside Batman, which I think is really, really cool. A cool way to watch a Batman movie. Not even watch it, just experience a Batman movie. So for me, Chinatown was actually one of my first things I thought of Chinatown, and Seven. So
Totally.
Yeah.
Those are great films. For those of you who have not seen those movies that AJ just mentioned, watch them, please. And I guarantee you're going to be more excited for the Batman. Julius, what movies did you think of when watching this trailer?
I was thinking of a French Connection,
Oh.
Gene Hackman.
Oh, Gene
Yeah.
Hackman, baby.
Yeah, I was thinking of. It's not a movie, but I was thinking a lot of Daredevil while watching it, the
Yes.
Netflix show.
Yeah.
And I think those are really cool inspirations, if they were at all. It makes sense, And I could even feel a little bit of Scorsese stuff, similar
Yes.
to the way that Joker is heavily inspired by King of Comedy and Taxi Driver.
Yep.
This feels like of that era. You could see the influence, in something like Goodfellas, maybe not to that extent, but in terms of the violence, I feel like they could get to that point in certain areas.
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
violence kind of reminded me of The Raid.
Yes. Yes.
How brutal the scene was itself. I thought it was like, okay, did y'all get the did y'all get the people that help with the raid fight scenes or
Yes.
something like that? I was like, oh, I want this right now, please.
Dude, I would not be surprised if they contacted Iko Uwais, who was the star of The Raid Redemption, to do the choreography of the Batman, because that's exactly what I thought of as well, AJ. I'm so glad that you brought up that film. The Raid Redemption and The Raid 2 are some of the best action films I've ever seen put to screen.
Yes.
They are some of the best movies I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of movies, especially a lot of action movies. Those two specifically, I mean, just the fighting styles, it feels like an art form. It feels like dancing, really. The fight scenes there are just such at a higher level that I really wish more people would watch The Raid Redemption, because that's the kind of quality that I expect for Batman movies now. Not only did the Batman make me think of The Raid Redemption, I also thought about Seven instantly. I've been dying to see a David Fincher direct a Batman film. It also made me think of Zodiac, which is another great detective mystery thriller from David Fincher, the master of the neo-noir himself. It made me think
The Departed?
The Departed, Mystic River from Clint Eastwood. You mentioned Martin Scorsese, Julius. Shutter Island, which is a psychological thriller as well. Of course, it made me think of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, combined, actually, both of them combined, where you see like the upbringing of the Batman and also a crime-ridden city. But also, it makes me think of Saw. It also makes me think of Saw in a way with the let's play a game and just the head tactics as well, and how brutal and gruesome I believe these crimes are going to be, especially when you see the mayor or the district attorney with the duct tape over his face, no more lies. That's very graphic, and it just made me think of so many movies that I loved, that it just makes me appreciate the work, the research that was put into crafting possibly what could be the greatest Batman film ever made, man.
Greatness.
Honestly. Yeah, I honestly think it's greatness. As we're coming close to concluding, AJ, I want to ask you, what are some movie trailers that you instantly think of that are some of the best trailers you've ever seen? It could be any genre, but you could also heavily focus on the comic book genre as well, because we've gotten some pitch perfect comic book trailers from the last decade. Which ones come to mind to you?
In terms of excitement level, Man of Steel was on par with the Batman.
Yes.
The first time we heard and saw the Force Awakens trailer,
Oh,
it was on par with the Batman.
God, yes.
That was nuts. I remember that.
Logan, I thought that first trailer was a pure masterpiece, just
On
like
God.
the Batman.
On God, on everything I love.
It's so good. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think that trailer was really, really brilliant.
Oh, so you're naming all of them now.
And to be fair, this is top 1 movies. I have 3 films that are a tie, and that's Man of Steel, Logan, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And when I saw those two, those beginning the first trailers of those, I was like, I have a feeling that these 3 will, one by one, I feel like these movies will be probably in my top 5. And long and behold, they are in my top 5. So to get the Batman as hyped as I am as confident as anything to say that the Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman, will be in my top 5. Actually, I'm gonna go lower. Top 3 of best comic book movies of all time. So
Wow, man.
there we go.
I am so impressed with you. You, my friend, have taste in cinema. Those are some fantastic choices. Those trailers blew me away as well. Julius, what trailers come to mind when you think of, you got to see this trailer? This trailer was breathtaking.
I thought the Hobbit, the first one, I thought that had a fantastic trailer. The Hobbit Unexpected Journey, I think it's called, the first one. I thought that had a really amazing trailer that felt like coming back to Lord of the Rings, you know, it's coming back to that Peter Jackson take on Tolkien's writing. I thought that was incredible. You know, you have the song Misty Mountains, you have the characters being introduced, you have the great tease at the very end of Gollum, and it's a fantastic trailer that anyone could watch, you know, to get them excited to watch those movies again. Even if the movies themselves, you know, they don't hold a candle to what Lord of the Rings is. That trailer.
But what can? To be
What
honest.
can? Yeah. I think that the movie with Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, Inherent Vice, had a really fun trailer. It has this incredible look to it, and it's just really funny and weird and bizarre. I could watch that over and over and over again, and I've watched it more than the actual film. You know, I think that, what's it called? I thought It had a really good trailer. You know, the first It. I thought that was a really good one that got people hyped for a horror movie in the way that they get hyped for movies like The Batman or Avengers or stuff like that. You know, it felt like when watching it, oh damn, this is going to be like the action horror movie that people have been waiting for, and especially since it's this famous book by Stephen King. It's like, damn, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I really love that one a lot.
And then we saw it.
Then we saw it. Yeah. The Social Network has a great trailer.
Oh,
you know.
Thank you for mentioning that one.
Yeah, The Social Network, very bizarre, eerie trailer that felt horror-ish a little bit at the very beginning. And I'm really hoping that The Social Network gets a sequel. That's all I'm saying. I need it to get a sequel for all the shit that's been happening with Facebook.
Oh, totally. And David Fincher, bring him back. Speaking of David Fincher, I think one of the best trailers ever made, not comic book related, would be The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yes.
Very effective. And rewatching that trailer again, I was like, man, I want to do the Batman in that style of trailer. And I did it. It was a blast. It was so much fun. But it just reminded me of what a gem that trailer was. It literally just showed images, had the soundtrack, and you don't really know what's going on, but you feel compelled to go watch it. And that's exactly how I felt about David Fincher's trailer. When it comes to comic book trailers, these are the trailers that always come to my mind. Man of Steel. That first Man of Steel trailer that I ever saw, it really was an out-of-body experience. I went to go see The Dark Knight Rises with my best friends, with my brothers. I was just as excited to see that first look at the Superman trailer, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, as I was watching Christopher Nolan's conclusion to The Dark Knight Rises. That trailer changed my life. Hans Zimmer's score, the music that they used from Lord of the Rings, mashed up with the visuals of Superman.
Howard Shore, I think.
It really was a life-changing trailer. So Man of Steel for sure. The trailer to The Dark Knight Rises, Bane's uprising, was absolutely epic. And also X-Men Days of Future Past. That trailer to me is something that I always go back to, and it's still, to this day, it still gives me goosebumps. And what a remarkable film that is, I think, as well. And usually,
gotta mention Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yes, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yes. Pure joy, pure happiness. I love those trailers. But yeah, that's gonna conclude this episode for today. Thank you all so much for watching. You are all great. And AJ, dude, thank you so much, man, for coming onto the show and dissecting this trailer with us. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your time. I think you are absolutely incredible. And it would be a shame for anybody who watches this video not to follow your content wherever you go. The work that you do with Movies Matrix, the writing that you do for the websites that you do is such an inspiration to me, man. And I just really am so happy that you were able to come on here and talk with me and Julius about the Batman. This is honestly one of my favorite videos that we've done. So thank you so much. And shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole podcast, which you were a fantastic guest on. I think the hosts there are amazing. I've seen Amanda's work as well. I've read a lot of her reviews. I love the way that she writes. I think the way that her structuring,
so good,
beginning, middle, and end. She was born to write, man. All of you have such a great team, and I look forward to collaborating with you more and hoping to have you on. And if you would have us on too, that would be awesome as well.
Of course.
Dude, this was such an awesome conversation. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I know I speak for me and Julius. The fact that you're here.
Really, I agree.
It adds to the credibility of what we do too. So thank you so much, man. Where can the people find you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me. I just wanted to talk the Batman.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I think we're all glad that it wasn't like that Mel Gibson interview where he's like, "Thank you, asshole."
Yeah, you guys are amazing, and I would love you guys and any podcast that I'm in, from the Geek Fix, Movie Matrix, Down the Rabbit Hole. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, you guys can find me at Geeks Vibe Nation, Movie Matrix, Geekly Goods, where I do comic coliseums, where I do anime versus anime characters, comic book versus comic book characters, you name it. I do fan casting for the Geekly Goods, which I actually going to do one this week or next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe Batgirl, maybe. And what was the other one? Oh my God. Geeks Vibe Nation. Sorry about that.
No,
I do.
They're about to fire you. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, he forgot?
Brain fart over here.
On another podcast, and he forgot.
That's the thing. You do a lot of work. I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to keep it all in one spot, but you managed to do it. You managed to shuffle.
It's commendable.
Around. Yeah,
I do
absolutely.
series reviews on there, and I do anime reviews on Geeks Vibe Nation. So, you guys can check me out. Hopefully, I can do a anime podcast very soon. So, I really would like to do that. So that's that.
Dude, that'd be great. We also do fan casting as well. So whenever we have an upcoming choice, we're thinking of some characters right now. We'd love to have you on again to share your fan casting because we know it gets very well received here. One of our most popular videos actually is fan casting the X-Men. So.
Oh boy! Don't look at the comments on that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we were fan casting the X-Men, when it came to Storm, we were thinking of like the best actress and stuff.
And by the way, it was right before we recorded. So when I say Paula Patton, I meant someone else. Okay,
yeah. Naomi Harris from Moonlight.
Naomi Harris. That's who I meant.
Oh, that would be a good. My choice for Storm would have been the girl from oh God, what is that? I think it was New Gods. Not New Gods. What was that? What was that show with Oh God, now I can't remember. Anyway, go on. I can't remember the name of the movie. I mean the show.
No, that's all good.
I'm about to look it up.
but we look forward to like future content with you, especially with fan casting, because I've seen your fan casts and they're fantastic. Julius, where can the people find you?
The people can find me if they like on Some Art at Julius or Some Art. Wait, I don't even remember what it's called.
Some Art by Julius.
It's on Some Art by Julius. That's right. I don't really use it, but if you want to follow, give us a follow, and you'll see what happens. But I'm primarily on the GOAT Podcast Twitter just for business purposes, and on this YouTube channel where you can message, comment. You can email us at thegoatpodcast@gmail.com, where you can suggest or request a video, and we will shout you out because it's free, for God's sake, just a subscription is. So do yourself a favor and get with the party.
Oh, yes. And real quick, we didn't answer that viewer's question, but let's just do it in one answer. Do you guys think those goons with the makeup, are they Penguin's men or Joker's men? What do you guys think?
I think they're Joker.
You think they're Joker's goons?
Yeah. I think they'll tease him in that way.
I'm going to go that way because I'm not sure. I think it'll be the Joker. But I do remember what the name of the show was. It was American Gods, and it was
yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think she would be a fantastic.
That is an awesome choice. That is an awesome choice. Riveting performance from her. I think they're Penguin's goons. I think he's still saving Joker. I'm not sure if Joker has such an influence yet in that world, especially with year 2 of Batman yet.
Yeah.
But we have yet to see. Thank you all so much for listening. You can find me on Twitter at Goat Movie Pod, and also my personal movie account at Blu-ray Angel, or Matt Reeves' account where he reshared my trailer reaction, which I mean, what a guy.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much, Matt.
You know
Matt.
that Angel's gonna be like, "Hey, Matt, buddy, can you get me in that premiere right there?
Hey,
you need a Zaz, right? You need a Zaz, right?
Free marketing, Matt. You know, I'm down for you. But no, thank you so much, Matt Reeves, incredible filmmaker. I just love that we can have discussions like this about the Batman and get more excited about the Batman. My level for this movie, the excitement I have, I'm ecstatic. I am at 100 out of 10 right now. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to be a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe. We have over 3,300 subscribers now. We really appreciate every single one of you, because I mentioned you make this community the greatest of all time. And like Julia said, if you have any questions, feel free to send it our way, and we'll dedicate an entire episode to you all. My name is Angel.
I am Julius.
And this was
And
our
I'm
wonderful-
AJ.
That's our wonderful guest,
That's
AJ.
right.
Thank you so much, man. You are all great.
The GOAT Podcast is proof you don't have to look any further for movie news, reviews, trailer reactions, or special discussions. Subscribe, get notified about what's going on, and I promise you'll be entertained by our daily content on YouTube. If you want more, we're on Twitter at GOAT Film Podcast, Instagram The GOAT Podcast, and the GOAT Movie Group on Facebook. Get connected with us, see what's happening, and make sure to love it while you're doing so.